Sagacity. 7 minutes of exercise for your mind.
Start with what not to do. A lot of us are moving through our days and our weeks, confusing ourselves and sometimes putting self-sabotage in the way of us getting to where we need to be by saying too often, I'm not sure what to do. Now, this could be anything from setting out on a change to your health and fitness, whether that be physical or mental. It could be something that you're studying and working towards in terms of a qualification or professional development. It could be absolutely anything in your world where you are telling yourself you don't know what to do. And that may be factually true. But one thing that I suggest, and for many years I've suggested this to clients that I've worked with on a one-to-one and small group basis with some phenomenal quick fixes that turned into sustainable long-term results. And that thing that we looked at was starting with what not to do. Let's keep it really simple when it comes to health and well-being. I've worked with some people who, from the outside looking in, would appear to have absolutely everything in place. Their educational background suggests that they understand everything they need to understand to get on in life. Material looks like everything's sorted. Family life might look great. But when you get down close and personal with these people and you start doing life skills, everybody has the same challenges no matter what level they appear to be functioning at. And the example I use quite often, I won't name this particular person, but somebody who's a high flyer, was traveling around the world, was on their way to an airport to fly out to America to do a very high level presentation at a conference, keynote speech, and contacted me on WhatsApp while they're stopped at the service station saying, I don't know what sandwich to buy. Now, we were working towards some health and fitness goals, and this person took everything that they did seriously. So I understand why, and they're paying me for the support to make good decisions. But my response to that was, start with which ones not to buy, and then let me know what's left. And they sent back a laughing emoji, and they made a good choice. And that's just a really simple, light-hearted, low-consequence example of where if you start by what not to do, you will end up with a short list of the options that you could do. And from that short list, you would very likely be able to pick the better one of that short list, or at least one of the better 2 or 3. You certainly wouldn't end up picking something that's going to take you backwards or be detrimental to the goals that you're trying to achieve. Now, that applies to all areas of your life. If you are doing something that is to develop your professional capabilities, whether it's personal development, whether it's physical development, whatever it is, there's a good chance that in recent weeks you have hit yourself with that statement, I don't know what to do. You might not have said it out loud, but you might have thought it. And that could be that you just haven't got the same energy in you on that day at that moment that you had when you originally set out on the journey. And your body and your mind are telling you, I don't know what to do, therefore I'm not going to do it today. Which what you're really saying is, I'm not really at the same energy level that I was at when I committed to doing this. And today it's going to be a lot harder and possibly even unachievable than it was a week ago when I was fully fired up. Self-awareness is huge in your journey. And if you know that about yourself and it's not going to have any huge consequences on you or anyone around you, sometimes it's good to take a break and come back when you're re-energized. But if time's against you and you need to keep things moving in the direction that you agreed with yourself some time ago that you were going to move towards, you're going to need to get it done. And you're going to need to laugh at yourself, smile, and start deciding which of the options that you definitely shouldn't do can you move out of the equation. And out of the options that are left, which one is the best one for you in that day at that moment. And there's a good chance that worst case scenario is you stand still with your progress, but you probably will move forwards even if it's just a little bit. So going back to that food scenario, this particular person, the sandwich he picked, yeah, it was higher in fats and sugars than some of the other stuff that we could have chosen, but it was much better than the all-day breakfast sandwich or the heavily loaded chicken, bacon, mayonnaise sandwich that he was originally saying he wasn't sure whether one of those would be okay. He knew they weren't okay. All right. So if I hadn't been available to answer that WhatsApp message in that moment because I was doing something else, he probably would have got away with saying I wasn't sure, so I got this one because I thought it was high in protein. But anyway, that's a low consequence example, as I said. So what you need to do is think about structuring your learnings and think about being honest with yourself in the situations where you find yourself saying, I'm not sure what to do. And use that elimination process as just one tool. It's one tool within many tools that will help you get long-term sustainable results. None of the ideas or suggestions or experiences that are shared on Sagacity or any of the other stuff that I put out through my network will ever be an all-encompassing solution on its own. But the more of these things you have available to you as and when you need them, the stronger your mental fitness will be and the stronger the outcomes will be when you make decisions in the heat of the moment or when you've got little time to reflect and learn and find out about it. What I'd like to leave you with on this episode is a short acronym that I've used for many years now that sits in the background of a lot of what I do, and it's called the EASY acronym. And this is how you should structure any behaviour change alongside picking out the things that you should not be doing. And that acronym stands for education. So the education around what it is that you're trying to improve around is really important. Call it learning, call it picking up tips, call it chatting to friends who've been there, done it. Education is the word. Don't be put off by the word sounding like school. Education. The next thing, which is just as important, if not more important, is knowing how to apply what you've learned into your lifestyle, your routine, your resources, your energy levels. That's really key. So the application stage. Once you understand the knowledge and then the know-how, the awareness, you need to understand what support is going to help you keep on track. And that's really important, to be humble and accept support. And finally, it needs to be on your terms. It can't be on anyone else's terms. This is your journey. It has to be on your terms. Smile at yourself often. Keep life simple because simplicity sticks, but enjoy the ride.